Hello. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, I am boss attorney Brie. I am a licensed California lawyer who practices trademark business law and family law. And on this channel, we cover different celebrity lawsuits and different trademark lawsuits that happen to be popular brands to see exactly what these people are doing wrong in order to get sued. We also talk about the different legal things that are in the complaints and whether we think that these people have good cases. But today, we are not going to be diving into a complaint like we usually do, but there are a few cases that we are going to be going over to talk about kind of what's going on in these celebrity lawsuits. If you checked out the thumbnail, you know that we are going to be talking about the Blac Chyna and not Kim Kardashian, but the Blac Chyna against the Kardashian Jenner's lawsuit. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about the Johnny Depp trial that has been going on for about a week now, and it has about 5 weeks left. If you have not been keeping up with the Johnny Depp trial, make sure you follow all of LawTube because there are many of them that are reporting on this case on a day by day basis. Make sure you check out Legal Bites. She has been covering it every day and she is doing a good job with a bunch of different members of the LawTube coming on there to also give their commentary. So make sure you guys are checking out that Johnny Depp trial. I have not been keeping up with it as much because I do have my own business. So I actually have to work and do client work. But if you want to keep up with that trial, make sure to check out the rest of LawTube. And we're going to talk a little bit about Johnny Depp because he did start to testify today. And I did do a little bit of catch up in order to do this live stream. If you're watching live, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching live, go ahead and comment in the comment section and let me know whether you know anything about the Blac Chyna and the Kardashian lawsuit, because it's not just Kim Kardashian. I'm used to reporting on lawsuits that are only against Kim, but this time Blac Chyna sued the entire Kardashian clan, and she also included the Jenners. She has removed some people from the lawsuit. So now all that lies in the lawsuit is against Kim, Chloe, Kylie, and Chris, the mother. So we're still going against the Kardashian Jenner clan, which is not all that surprising because it seems like they're always getting sued or they're always doing something wrong. And we have Honorable Tom, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for the chat. Looking forward to this topic. Thank you. I hope you are aware of what's going on in the case and could give some of your comments throughout the rest of the stream. We also have not much does it have to do with Rob. Initially, this lawsuit did name Rob in it. And yes, it kind of has something to do with Rob because Blac Chyna is actually suing the Kardashians because she said that they interfered with her right to get her Rob and Chyna show reprogrammed, or not reprogrammed, but aired again on the E Network. They're saying that the Kardashian Jenners went to E Network and basically told them not to air the show again and not to give her a second season. So technically, partially to do with Rob, he was originally named in the lawsuit, but he got dropped out of the lawsuit. She had some claims against him for like harassment, domestic violence, and other things. But we're going to go over the first page of the complaint so that you can see everything that she initially sued for. Of course, some of the causes of actions have been dropped since then. This was a 70-page complaint. So she's dropped some things. But yes, to answer your question, yes, it partly had to do with Rob, but now we kind of dropped Rob out of it, but it still has to do with her and Rob's TV show on the E Network. All right, we have my father's son. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you are doing good today. She wants the bag. Yes, I think she does want the bag. She's actually suing for about $100 million. She's suing for what is it? 40 million for lost wages and then 60 million for potential loss of future income. So altogether $100 million. And then she's also asking for punitive damages, which means that the jury can award more money for her to kind of punish the Kardashian Jenners for what they did to her, or what she's alleging that they did to her. And remember, guys, This is a lawsuit. We're in a trial, or they're starting a trial. So everything that she is saying and everything that the Kardashian Jenners are saying are considered allegations and have not been proven to be fact. They will do that in the lawsuit. We have Honorable Tom says, I'm completely ignorant about the case. Haha, I also assumed it has something to do with Rob. Yes, that's okay. We're going to get into some of the stuff, not necessarily the case, because the court is actually not allowing cameras in the court. So we're not going to be able to keep up with it like LawTube is doing with a Johnny Depp trial. But we can kind of read blogs from people that actually went to the court case. So it's okay if you don't know much about it. They're not really getting all that much attention, especially with this Johnny Depp stuff coming on. We have Kim Riley. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for watching live. And then we have, thanks for clarifying. No problem. All right. So before we get into actually what is going on or what happened with the jury, because that's the main thing we're going to be talking about in relation to the Kardashian and Blac Chyna lawsuit. Before we get into that, I do want to pull up the complaint just in case some of you were not here last week, where we talked about the allegations that she initially brought against the family. So let me go ahead, and I forgot to add it to the stream already. So now I need to add it to the stream so that you guys can see the actual complaint, okay, and see what exactly she is suing for. Okay, so this is the first page of the complaint, and we're just going to kind of go over what she initially sued for. So these are the causes of action that she alleged facts to say, hey, you guys violated me in this way. So the first thing that she alleged was assault, and then we have battery, distribution of private materials, which is basically like sharing her nudes. And then we have domestic violence and harassment. I'm assuming that the top 5 causes of action were against Rob. But like I said, I believe Rob recently won a lawsuit against her. And throughout this lawsuit, remember, guys, this was filed back in 2017. Throughout this lawsuit, she ended up dropping all of her allegations against Rob. And so that's why he's not going to be present in the court during this lawsuit. The other things that she sued for was intrusion into private affairs, false light, disclosure of private facts, and defamation. And those 4, number 6 through 9, all have to do with defamation in some way. So basically, if she can't prove that some of the things that they said were lies, then she can go ahead and go rely on her intrusion into private affairs and disclosure of private facts, because the facts might have been true, but the Kardashian Jenners were not entitled to distribute that information either to E! News or to the public in general. And then the other 2 things that she sued for was interference with contractual relations and interference with prospective economic relations. And so I don't know if there's more causes of action, because I do only have the first page of the complaint. But these allegations are basically in relation to the fact that she's claiming that the Kardashian and Jenners went to E! News and told them not to re-air Chyna's show. So those are the things that there being that Blac Chyna is suing the Kardashian Jenners for. And again, who's left in the lawsuit is Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, and Kris Jenner, the mother. So all of these people apparently had their hands in getting this show canceled. So let me know if you guys have any questions about any of the allegations that are being alleged against the Kardashians. Let me know if you think that they're guilty. Do you think that they would do something like this? We know that they did not like Blac Chyna. We know that Kylie Jenner ended up dating Blac Chyna's first baby father. And so to me, it might make sense that they would do something like this. The family has been known to be into scandals, and they have been known to steal things from other people. So it would not surprise me if they stole her show from her or got her show canceled. Again, everything in the complaint and everything that she's alleging so far has not been proven to be fact. But I would just like to know what you guys think on the case. Like I said, I would not be surprised. So let me know what you guys think. We have wow, and I always liked Mama Kris and respected her business savvy. Yeah, they do say that Kris is very good at getting business deals and making money for her kids. But apparently, from what Blac Chyna is alleging, she's also good at taking money out of other people's pockets in order for either her to have more money or to prevent someone from gaining clout from her family, which I don't really think is a bad thing. You don't want people making money off of your name, but at the same time, they could have let Blac Chyna have her check. The show probably would have got canceled anyways without their interference, because Rob and Chyna ended up breaking up. So who knows what would have happened if they did not do these alleged acts, or maybe it just got canceled because E did not want to do the show anymore. I don't know, but I would love to see as more of the facts come out. I was too cheap to buy the actual complaint. So I don't know what facts she actually alleged, but I know that it does have to do with the Blac Chyna, the Rob and Chyna show. So yeah, that is all I have on the actual complaint. And we're going to hop into the article where people were actually talking about um, the Kardashians in their face. The jury was talking about the Kardashians in their face. And so we have Jen Madison saying, wouldn't the show have benefited the Kardashians if it had gone forward? I think in a sense, because I think it would have benefited Rob Kardashian, but from what I see, he's not really all in the limelight like the girls are. So I don't think it would have benefited them in the extreme. Like if it was like Kim and China on the show, then yes, I think it would have benefited the Kardashians a little more, because I do think that Chris has, and this is just my opinion, I think that Chris does have her hand in a lot of the girls' businesses, but I don't necessarily think she had as much pull or as much control over what Rob was actually doing. It can get people talking about them, but honestly, at that time, the Kardashians already had people talking about them. They didn't really need Blac Chyna to boost their relevance. If anything, Blac Chyna will bring down their relevance, and they would be bringing up Blac Chyna's relevance. So I can see where you're going with that, but most likely not $100 million. She would not have benefited them by $100 million, like she thinks that her show would have benefited her by what is it, $100 million. And she also let us know, Blac Chyna told us that she was making $95,000 per episode. That's a lot of money to go from making that every week or every episode, and then all of a sudden it falling off, especially when you probably don't have that much other talent in order to make that much money every week or every episode. So I can see why she would be mad. They really got to her bag and cut it off, and now she wants her money back. 5 years later, and probably a bunch of attorney's fees later. So, how beneficial will it be to her? Hopefully, she has not spent $100 million on attorney's fees trying to bring this lawsuit. Well, it's been 5 years, but I don't think she got up to $100 million. So, if she can win her money, then kudos to her. I would love to see how the facts are going to play out for her. We have, I think it's possibly true, and hopefully she can prove it. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I would not be surprised if it is true. We have Honorable Tom. Did you hear about Kim's baby bar essay being chosen as an exemplary sample? I have my own opinions on her baby barness and what she's trying to do to become a lawyer. Um, from my what I know, it's really not that many people taking the baby bar, so that wouldn't really shock me if her essay did come out to be an example, because honestly, it probably wasn't competing against that many essays. And this is me just talking. I can look into it later to see how many people actually took the baby bar, but I think it's a bunch of BS, honestly. But I'm not a Kardashian fan, so maybe she is very smart and she can become a lawyer while being famous and taking care of 4 kids and all of those things. But who knows? We have good point. I can see why she would be mad too. Yes, Blac Chyna has a reason to be mad. I would love to read her baby bar essay. Yeah, so if I can find it, I will definitely bring it onto the show to see what the baby bar essay was about, and how she did, in my opinion, on the baby bar. I passed the bar the first time around, and I didn't take the baby bar. I took the real bar. So I would love to see what her essay was. And I'm not going to speak on things I don't know, but honestly, I would not be surprised if she's not the one even taking her test and them just handing her as a celebrity her law degree. I don't know, but I don't believe it. But I guess I'm not at home with her every day, but I know what I looked like studying for the bar, and I definitely would not have been able to be a celebrity in a lawsuit, being accused of things all the time and still passing the bar. But maybe she's superhuman. Who knows? All right. So if I find the baby bar essay, which is all supposed to be anonymous, so I don't know if they knew it was Kim's essay or not, or if she's just claiming that one of the essays is hers. That might not be hers. That's also a possibility as well. Only she would know that she wrote that. And honestly, I don't remember a lot of things that I wrote on the bar. Maybe they notified her and told her that one of her essays were selected. Maybe. But if I find it, I will bring it to you guys. Okay. So, good opinions on that of whether you guys think that the Kardashians interfered with her. But let's hop over to what has happened. So, as of April 15th, the trial for them has begun, in that they started trying to pick their jurors for the case. So, it's in jury selection. Now, what is a jury? They are basically just a group of your peers that basically decides the fate of your case. And so the reason why it's super important to pick good jurors that will be on your side is because they are deciding whether you are liable or not. So, of course, you want to point out and figure out if any of them have any biases against you. If it's a criminal case and you are accused of murdering someone with a gun, then you do not want someone that is against gun rights, right? If you are in a domestic violence trial like Johnny Depp, and someone thinks that all men are bad and all men are abusive, then you would not want them on your jury. So this is basically what Kim Kardashian lawyers, all the Kardashian Jenner lawyers, and Blac Chyna lawyers were doing on Monday. I think the trial was supposed to start on Friday, but for some reason they were talking about jury selection started on Monday and then went into Tuesday because they had so many comments that were negative towards the Kardashians. Of course, there were probably some fans in there, but honestly, I don't know how you really get a group of your peers for celebrities. I feel like it would have to be other celebrities to be your peer, but that is just language that they use, so you don't have to be on the same like socioeconomic status. You just have to basically live in the area that they're having the trial. So yes, they are trying to select jurors that will not be biased against the Kardashians. And if I don't know if you guys are fans of the Kardashians or you don't like the Kardashians, but honestly, I feel like with people like the Kardashians, celebrities like the Kardashians, you either don't like them or you love them. There is very rarely people that are in between for them or like don't care. I will probably say I don't care for them, but I probably lean more towards the I don't like them. But there's probably a lot more people that are fans, hence why they have millions and millions of followers. So when they pulled this jury, I think it was about 70 something people, and the attorneys will ask them questions to figure out whether they're going to be biased against the Kardashians. And then Blac Chyna's attorneys will ask them questions to figure out whether they're going to be biased against Blac Chyna. Now, Blac Chyna will want to pick the jurors that are biased against the Kardashians, and it seems out of the 70 some odd people that there were a lot of people that were biased against the Kardashian, and they were not afraid to make their statement. So I see I have a couple of chats coming in, so I'll go ahead and check those out, and then we'll pop right over to the document of where we're going to be getting some quotes from the jurors and how they really felt about the Kardashians. We have I have jury duty in September. Not looking forward to it. A lot of people don't like being on the jury, that was kind of mentioned on Legal Bites live stream today with Johnny Depp. Is because that trial is 6 weeks long. Who wants to sit there through all that testimony? And a lot of times, it's really not that entertaining and probably boring. I would probably be yawning in there. We have Good Luck Jen. Yes, good luck Jen on your jury duty. Hopefully, it's not a 6 week trial. The case will be held in California court. Yes, for the Blac Chyna and Kardashian case, they are having their case in California Superior Court. So it's not a federal case; it's a state case. So they are in the county of Los Angeles. So, which is another thing that I thought was interesting. They went ahead and said, not they, but the attorney for the Kardashians only wanted them to have to come to court on one day, which didn't really make sense to me. I don't know exactly how long this trial is supposed to be, but he thought that they could all get their testimony out in one day. All of them are scheduled to testify. So it really wouldn't make sense. The reason why he didn't want them at the trial every day because he believes that they're so famous and that it'll be hard for people to concentrate, or there'll be people trying to come and see them at the courthouse. However, this is LA. There's always a lot of lawsuits with celebrities in the LA court. So I don't know if the Kardashians are more famous than other famous people, but if other famous people are fine, the Kardashians will probably be fine too. I think that was the same issue with the Cardi B case. There didn't seem to be a lot of people trying to go watch the trial. It was pretty easy for people that I saw cover the case to get into the court. It could have been because they're lawyers. It could have been because they're popular in the area. But honestly, I just don't think that there was that many people trying to go to that hearing. Same thing with Johnny Depp. The courtroom is never full from what I could see. So it is, his case is in Virginia, so maybe people aren't that like starstruck or something like that. But I highly doubt that they're going to have an issue with so many people wanting to see the Jenners and the Kardashians, maybe because a lot of teenagers like them. But for the most part, they should be fine in loss in the for people not to bother them in the lawsuit. Okay, we have anyone in the chat know if Brie has a Twitter so I can share and tag her? Yes, I do have a Twitter. It's under Boss Attorney Brie as well. It is new. I opened it or started it last week. So yeah, share the Twitter. Let me know how that goes for you. I think I shared a tweet on there. I don't know how to use Twitter. But I'm there for those of you that do use Twitter. And once I figure it out, you'll be the first one to see my tweet. So make sure to check that out. Okay. So let's hop over to the article that let us know what some of these jurors had to say about the Kardashians, which was not good because when you see a biased person, the attorney has the ability to kind of get rid of them off of the jury. You get so many just kind of no questions asked, get rid of this person. Of course, you're not supposed to be racist or sexist or anything like that. But when you have those no questions asked, and I can't think of the name of what it's called right now, get rid of that person, um then you can't really tell if they got rid of them because of those certain things, because of their race or their gender or anything like that. Hopefully no lawyers are doing that this day and age. But there are also some other dismissals from the jury that that every attorney has, and they have to give their reason to why they are dismissing them. So bias is one of the reasons why they can dismiss them. So let me get over to these quotes from these people. And this is a different article. For some reason, I brought this article instead of the other one. So let's kind of see what the jury had to say about the Kardashians. Let's bring this up a little bigger and see what they said. All right, so talking trash about the Kardashians is a common pastime for many ordinary Americans. This is true. On Monday, a few got to do it to their faces. And this is an article from Triad that was published today. So pretty recent since this happened on Monday. All right. So the first quote that they decided to acknowledge is anything that has to do with their names is just a big no for me. One man said, I don't think reality TV is good for society. So we're already starting off with the bias of people not really wanting to deal with the Kardashians. And this guy also says that reality TV is not good for society. So his opinion can actually be against Chyna as well because she wanted to continue her reality TV show. So he wouldn't be a good juror for either one of them. All right. And Chyna's so this is just kind of going into why she sued them. She's suing the Kardashians, alleging they destroyed her television career. And during jury selection, her attorney asked dozens of candidates their feelings about the plaintiff and defendants and the reality shows the case stemmed from. Another juror said, I sincerely hope none of these people get any wealthier because of this. So again, this juror is not she or who, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but this juror is not good for either one of them. They're saying they hope no one gets wealthy off this case, so they could potentially just find no one's liable and no one gets attorney's fees and no one gets any other fees. So that person would not be very good for the Kardashians as well. All right, and then we have Jen making a note saying, "I personally like the Kardashians well as much as I know from their show, which is so heavily edited. This is true in order to create characters, so who knows what they really are like." Which I guess that is very true. You don't really know what these celebrities are like. um I understand your opinion based off of the TV show. I don't watch the TV show, but I do have opinions based off of the way that they are often accused of stealing things from smaller creators, especially Black creators. And so that's the reason why I don't really flow with them at all. But again, those are accusations as well. And honestly, they're just not really my cup of tea. Everybody has their preference. But yeah, definitely I could see their show making them very likable. It's a catchy show. It's lasted for several seasons. So I would assume that they come off as very likable people on their show. So nothing wrong with having that opinion at all. Um, oh, correction to your earlier comment. No problem for correcting your the writing. And I know you're typing fast. We're on computers and phones, so no big deal about any typos, okay? All right. So let's pop over to what they say again. One woman said her teenage daughter tried to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians when it first came on, but she stopped it. Again, not good for the Kardashians. So, of course, that juror is probably kicked off of the panel or off of the jury stand. Another person says, I don't think they were the best role models. I wouldn't let her watch anything involving them. Okay, that was the same juror. So she doesn't let her kids watch the Kardashians, which is not a good look because she obviously has a strong opinion against the Kardashians. One panel member couldn't even wait to be asked. So these people were waiting to get their opinion on this case. So I can only imagine what they were like when they got the notice in the mail that had these people's names on it, or when they found out that this was the case that they were going to be potentially being jurors on, and they were just waiting to be able to give their opinion to the Kardashians face. Because a lot of times when we leave comments on the internet, some of these people might have left some comments for them before, something of that nature. The celebrities don't usually see it, so these people seem like they were very happy to be able to say it and know that the Kardashians and the Jenners were going to hear it. All right. So we have Honorable Thompson. Maybe if they get enough jurors who dislike all of them equally, it could still be a fair trial. That's possible. I don't. It makes me wonder if they're going to have to try to get another pool of jurors, because if so many people have these strong opinions about them, I feel like it will be very hard to pick jurors and have it be fair. But getting jurors to show up to the court is hard in itself. And on top of that, when there are cases with celebrities like this, I feel like it's very hard to find people that either don't know them or don't have an opinion on them, especially everyone that's over 18, who's their target market, young women. Maybe if you deal with some men, maybe they wouldn't know her, but then she's out there, not she, but Kim is out there with her tape, and a lot of men know her from that, or not a lot of men, but some men know her from that. So I feel like it'll be very hard to find someone who just does not know the Kardashians. They are everywhere. All right. So maybe a new jurisdiction, they can go to Tahoe potentially, but at the same time, like I said, I think people in Tahoe also know the Kardashians. So I think it'll be very hard to find people that do not know about this case. And I don't know if some of you are aware, some people get on these juries and lie and say that they don't have any biases just to be on the trial. So maybe they'll get enough people that pretend like they don't know the Kardashians, or maybe they will have enough people to really not know the Kardashians. I'm not exactly sure how many people are on this jury, but usually it's 12. So I can't quite remember because I don't do civil trials in California. how many are for civil cases. So I'll have to look into that to see how many jurors that they could potentially have or that they will have. Or they might have to have less. It's not a criminal case, so it's not like violating their justice. I mean, not their justice rights, but their civil rights. All right. So he couldn't wait to be asked, told to give his name, occupation, marital status, and hometown shortly after sitting down. He answered and then added, so they didn't ask him a question about the Kardashians. He just decided to say this after he introduced himself. And I just want to say I have a very negative perception of the parties, and I am not sure I could be unbiased. Now, if I don't want to be here was a person, that is this jury or panel member. He wanted them to know that he does not have an unbiased opinion about them. He does not like them. Okay, the defendants didn't seem defensive about the disrespect. They chatted. Okay, so the Kardashians didn't seem to be very annoyed by the things that people were saying, which is good for them. They probably deal with hateful comments on a regular basis, so it's good that they're not reacting to what the jurors are saying. It could potentially give jurors that will be on the case a bad perception of them if they did have negative reactions. All right, I appreciate your this is what the judge says, I appreciate your honesty. You're certainly not shy, he told the panel. But this is the type of case, like all cases, where everybody is entitled to a fair trial. There's a jury instruction that says wealth of a party or poverty of a party does not matter. And I really don't think that's what the jury is against them for. I really think the jury is probably against them for the things that they do in the media, not necessarily that they're rich. Some of the people did mention they don't want them to get any richer, but for the most part, it almost seems like the jury is more against them because of who they are and who they portray to be on the internet. So, I wouldn't read too much into people that are rich also deserve a fair trial. Because technically, Blac Chyna is semi-famous and potentially could be rich. Of course, she's probably not as rich as the Kardashians, but I hope that's not why people are being rude to them. All right. So someone I think this is the a juror, someone. I do not understand that there is a, or I do you understand that there is a dark side to celebrity, Rhodes said, and that people that are famous sometimes need extra security. Okay, this is talking about the fact that the Kardashians, when they walked in, they had a lot of security. And so some jurors were probably a little taken back by the fact that they walked in with like this mob or this posse, and why they had security. So some people feel unrelatable or probably don't like them because of that. Then we have, does that mean they need Fiji water hand delivered to them as they sit in court? The man responded. So again, a little bit sarcastic with their responses of why the Kardashian Jenners are being so bougie. I don't know if Blac Chyna had a lot of security. Probably not. I'm assuming that the Kardashians had a lot of security because they felt like a lot of people would be at the courthouse trying to see them in this case. And so they probably bought a lot of security to show the judge, like, hey, look, it's not safe for us to show up here. Potentially. Who knows? All right. And so we have more people with comments that they don't like the Kardashians. No, these are people that did support the Kardashians. So it says, I'm a pretty big fan of the Kardashians, so I don't think I would be able to make an unbiased judgment, one young woman said, which is their target audience. And then a young man who may not necessarily be their target audience. I also am a big fan of the Kardashians. I've been watching it since I was little, so I don't think I could be very fair. So they have some people on their team. All right. And then most people said they hadn't developed any feelings about Blac Chyna. Of course, Blac Chyna is not as famous as the Kardashians, so she's probably not going to have a lot of people against her or for her. One woman who said she didn't care for the Kardashians said she liked Chyna because the two went to the same nail salon and she was always nice to me. And that's the danger of dealing with your peers. This lady went to the same nail salon as Blac Chyna. So she actually had interactions with her, according to her. She said she was nice to her. So that's what's a little dangerous about picking your peers or at least people that live in the county where the case is happening. All right. And then so they're talk about Blac Chyna a little bit and that she's a model. Um, when the second season was being shot, they broke up and the show was scrapped. So, like I said, maybe it would have got canceled anyways, to be truthful, because the show was Rob and Chyna, and if Rob and Chyna are not together, then what's the point of the show? So let's go through. I think the article is almost over. In 2017, Chyna sued the family for 100 million, saying they had defamed her and illegally interfered with her contracts and business dealings, using their power with producers and executives to drive her out of reality TV. And this is just a little summary of why she's actually suing them and why this trial is going forward. Why this trial is going forward. The Kardashians denied any wrongdoing and said in court filings that they had legitimate concerns about Chyna and fears for the safety of their son and brother given the violence and toxicity of the relationship. Chyna is also suing Rob Kardashian, but the differences in her allegation against him prompted the judge to sever that part of the case into a separate trial that will be a sequel. Oh, it will be a sequel series on Hulu. Oh, never mind. It got cut off. I don't know what that was supposed to say, but they started talking about the Kardashian sequel on Hulu. So with that being said, I thought that she dropped the suit against Rob, and I did see on the court website that there was just a suit of domestic violence against Rob, but apparently the judge severed the suit, so that's why only Kylie, Kim, Chloe, and Chris are left in this lawsuit, and the court severed the lawsuit, and Rob Kardashian or China's Blac Chyna's lawsuit against Rob Kardashian is a completely different lawsuit at this point. So those are some of the things that they had to say about the Kardashians. I know they get a lot of hate on the internet. They are famous people, so they probably are always don't do the right thing. Like I said, I'm more of the don't care for them, probably more along the lines of stop stealing from creators. And there are a bunch of people that are fans of them. That's why they have millions and millions of subscribers. All right. So we don't have any comments, just some laughter. Thank you guys for dropping the comments in the chat. If you guys are watching this live, make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you hit the like button and leave a comment on what you think about that. So, like I said, there's some things being said to the Kardashians' faces. Good thing that it seemed like they were not really phased by these answers and these responses from these jurors. Some people might have just said it because they don't want to do jury duty or they hate jury duty, and other people said it because they don't like famous people, and then other people said it because they don't like the Kardashians. It didn't seem like anyone really said that they didn't like Blac Chyna. Maybe the article is biased, and that someone did say that, but from this article, no one really said that they didn't like Blac Chyna, but they did say they were kind of indifferent about her. But a lot of people said they don't like the Kardashians and what they do. All right. I believe the Kardashian wanted Rob included, but the judge denied it. It should be a separate case. Yeah, they're completely different causes of action. Like the domestic violence, the harassment, all of that stuff is only geared towards Rob. So there's no reason for them to say, okay, you interfered with my contract and you abused me. Doesn't really make sense for that all to be in one trial. It will make for a very long and confusing trial. So I definitely agree with you. They wanted Rob to be a part of it, but it didn't really make sense for him to be a part of it unless he was the one that was going to trying to get the show canceled. But it doesn't appear that there are any allegations against Rob trying to get the show canceled. She can say she broke up with him to get the show canceled, but that wouldn't really be interference. If he didn't like her, he didn't like her. So that's the end of the Kardashians and what they have going on. I'm gonna try to keep up with the case. It is a little harder just because there are not cameras in the courtroom. I thought that would have been good for their the Kardashians TV show, but apparently the judge thought that it would not be good, so they denied media in the courtroom. I'll try to keep up with the blog post. I'll try to look into the baby bar and Kim's essay that was apparently used as an example for other baby bar takers. And honestly, I don't know anyone that took the baby bar. So I really don't know how hard it is. The show might be playing reruns, but they have a new contract with Hulu. Yes. They did just air their Hulu version of the show and decided that it was still appropriate to air their show, even though that they are starting this lawsuit right now. It could give them some publicity for it, but at the same time, the Kardashians are very famous, so they don't really need publicity from a lawsuit in order to boost their views. So, yes, they are with Hulu now. I thought they were going to completely cancel the show, but apparently they decided to get into a whole new contract. But Blac Chyna does not have her show. And that is the issue that she has. So she wished that maybe she got a contract. Or if she would have continued the show, maybe she could have got further contracts with her show. So that is that on that. And the next thing that we have, which will probably be pretty short. If you were here at the beginning of this stream, I really have not been able to watch the trial every day for Johnny Depp, but I do quick catch ups with the lawsuit to kind of see what's going on. And so today, I think maybe two other people testified. I cannot remember, but for sure, Johnny Depp started his testimony in the trial. If you guys don't know what's going on with Johnny Depp, he is suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation. She basically is claiming that he abused her and that she is a victim of domestic violence. Johnny Depp is saying nothing of that sort has ever happened. I don't know what the heck she's talking about. And now that she's done that, she has ruined my career. I've been blackballed. I cannot get any movie roles. And for that, she owes me money. So there has been a bunch of testimony going on. His sister has testified. Johnny Depp's sister has testified. His friend has testified. I believe his bodyguard has testified. A doctor and a nurse have testified. And if you guys watched that yesterday, I actually was watching the trial yesterday on Legal Bites channel. And the nurse, that was just the most boring testimony ever, and it was a deposition as well, so she wasn't even there live. She seemed bored in the testimony, but that's okay. She did what she was supposed to do, which was to admit his medical records or her notes from his medical treatment into evidence, because no one was going to read that without her actually explaining what was in them. Now, as far as Johnny Depp's testimony, I did not get through the whole thing, but I do want to know what you guys think of the trial so far. If you have been keeping up with it, go ahead and drop it in the chat what you think of the trial so far, whether you think that Amber Heard is going to be found liable in this case, and what do you think about Johnny Depp's testimony so far? I only got through like the first hour to 2 hours of the testimony, which was basically him setting up foundation for who he was and why he acts the way that he acts when it comes to violence, which is basically saying that his mother was abusive and his father did not react. So he kind of took after his father and decided not to react to any of the abuse that was going on against him that he is alleging that Amber Heard did to him. So let me know what you guys think about the Johnny Depp trial, or if you haven't been keeping up with it, go ahead and drop in the comment or the chat section that you have not been keeping up with it. All right. So we have Jen Madison. Thank you for being so like participating in the chat. I love reading guys' chat, so keep it up if you can. Johnny's testimony was convincing. He'll be on tomorrow. Yes, I was under the impression that he didn't finish, but I couldn't finish watching his testimony in time for this live stream because I was working earlier. So I'll probably catch up on it a little later today, or at least watch Legal Bites recap to see what she has to say about it, because she does a really good job on that. All right, we have Hi Boss Attorney. Welcome in Deacon Fedo to the chat. All right. Don't recall the nurse. Yeah. So yeah, the I don't recall nurse. So that's all she kept saying. Which nurse Liz came on to Legal Bites and let us know the reason why she was doing that was kind of to save her license and make sure she couldn't be liable for anything that she said during the deposition. But yes, the I do not recall. I do not recall specifics. Her flopping over, she was like this and all, like she was just uninterested in the deposition. So yes, a lot of people made fun of her for the I do not recall, but her body language to me what was really throwing me off. Like you cannot be sitting here looking bored in the way that you're looking bored. Okay, we have Susan Rainey said, "You found me on Legal Bike." Oh, thank you for coming over from Legal Bites. I love her channel. She's super nice and she's doing a great job covering the Johnny Depp trial. And we have people saying hello. Yes, get to know each other. Say hello. All right. And we have, he actually took care of her. Or sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. He actually took care of her whole team, providing penthouses and such. Very generous. Yes, he did take care of a lot of people. Um, I was not really ever a Johnny Depp fan. I think I might have been like a little bit too young to really keep up with him like that. But from him being famous and honestly seeing him in this trial, he does seem like a very generous person, a very nice person. He took care of her people, he took care of his people, anyone that he could support. That I think his friend came on, said he was selling art. Johnny Depp started a not started, but put together a little art show for him to be able to sell his work. Like that's more beneficial than your friend buying one piece of artwork, but putting you in front of a bunch of people that can buy your artwork, that is amazing. So he does come off as a very generous person, which to me is kind of wholesome, because it's like you have all this money, really what are you doing with it? You can only give so much money to your kids. So I don't see a real big problem with him spending it while he's alive, honestly. Okay. So far good testimony. I haven't, but interested in this too. And yeah, the trial is super long, so you might be better off watching recaps. They're on day 5, and I think it's a 6-week trial. So if you don't have time to keep up with the whole testimony and the whole trial and all of that stuff, we're still on Johnny Depp's witnesses, and we're only 5 days into a 6-week trial. So make sure, if you're interested, do recaps. You might not want to try to watch the whole trial to catch up. I didn't get to watch it all because a lot of it was triggering. So it's one of those I would have to come back to. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that it's triggering for you. I know domestic violence can be a hard topic for anybody. Abuse can be a hard topic. And there's a lot of talk about substance abuse in there as well. So if you do have any of those issues, I would recommend maybe reading the article rather than watching the trial and listening to the questions be answered, because a lot of the questions do come up often. So if any of those things in particular trigger you, it might be a little bit better to like read a blog or something that has a recap for you. All right. IMO the trial. I think that means I miss. I'm not sure what IMO means. I'm not hip. Okay. It's like watching a tide roll in and then back in. Some is more sorry. Some is more parts more enlightening than others. Yes, I think so. I think it's going to be like that, especially when you're getting the different witnesses. They're going to have different things to talk about. Like we had the I don't recall nurse. She was just there to talk about his mental state. But she did give a little bit of information to what she saw. And then you have people like her sister, that's just kind of his sister, that's just kind of establishing who he is as a person. And then his own foundational testimony today was establishing who he is as a person, basically confirming what his sister said was true, that he thought his mom was mean and his dad was nice, and he more reacted like his dad, than his mom. He didn't really engage in the domestic violence like the mom did. All right. Meant a tide that rolls back in and out. Yeah, I'm glad you corrected that, because I'm like, am I that tired? But no, I definitely understand it is rolling in and out. Okay. I also have to remind myself that both parties are actors, and I'm sure their attorneys are used to these cases. Yes, that's probably true. What Johnny Depp came off to me as, though, I know that his attorneys prepped him, because attorneys do that. They prep their clients, they prep their witnesses to prepare to be a witness on the witness stand, because that is a lot different than being an actor or an actress. And he did say a lot. I noticed that, to where, to me, I feel like he's trying to come off as not so rehearsed. But it could also be seen as, oh, let me try to remember what I was told that I should answer the question like. So that's one thing, that his his acting career could hurt him in that aspect because the judge or the jury, because they're the one that decides the fact, they may think that he's acting and maybe his answers aren't as truthful. But he does come off as genuine to me, even though he is an actor. Right. I love The Secret Window. Not sure what that is. Is that a movie? I didn't know he had such an awful childhood. I didn't know that either. It's very interesting to find out the personal details of actors and actresses, but at the same time, it's like you wouldn't expect him to have had that type of upbringing, that kind of childhood, and then to come up to be this mega star. So I wonder how his mom felt about that. The sister said he took care of her, so maybe she was still proud of him, even though she was mean to them in their childhood. All right. I have to watch the recaps because the trial so far has been a hot mess. Yes, I would recommend recaps. It's definitely something long to sit through. I usually, when I'm catching up, watch it on two times speed, and sometimes I wish it could be a little faster. I watched Johnny Depp on two times speed, and it seemed like he was talking at regular speed for me. So, yeah, recap is probably the best bet for you. The case has ups and downs for it's a good one to watch while doing other things at the same time. Yeah, have it playing in the background. Don't use your whole day to do that. Dav's Beats let me know that it means in my opinion. I will try to remember that. A lot of times I get the acronyms and then I forget them. So don't hold me to remembering that. In my opinion, I will try to remember that. I thought it was I missed something. I don't know what the O would have been. Um, and tired of rolling in and back out. I need to stop multitasking and focus on typing. I definitely get you on that one. I'm like, end of the day, am I too tired to be reading? But I'm glad that you are correcting your typing. All right. Do you think his testimony helped or hurt his case? I didn't finish his full testimony from today. I think someone commented earlier that he's still going to be testifying tomorrow. I wasn't able to finish it before I hopped on the live stream. So once I watch the full thing, I will let you know if it helps him. So far from the foundation that he has laid, I think that it establishes him as a more genuine person and for the jury not to look at him as a celebrity. I think they did talk a little bit too much about his movies, but again, that would be to prove that he lost money from what Amber Heard said. Um, I don't know if it completely lined up with the way that they went about it, which was childhood to movies, then to his bodyguards. It was just, I feel like it could have been a little bit of a better flow. And I think his testimony is helping him personally because even if he doesn't win the trial, he'll at least have gotten the chance to give out his his story because he felt like his voice is not being heard after Amber Heard said the things that she said in the media. All right, you agree with me. Thank you. He says he's introverted. Right. That part threw me off as well because it's like you're an actor and you're introverted, and maybe you were introverted when you first started acting, but what about now? But I am a little bit on his side too because I am a pretty introverted person and now I'm on YouTube talking to a camera, which is just insane to me. So maybe since it's not a lot of people watching him live, he's able to be outroverted in his acting, but maybe like in his personal life he still is very introverted. And I think it's a lot easier for introverted people to communicate with people when they initiate the conversation with them because that's how I am. If someone comes up and talk to me and I feel comfortable, then I could talk a million miles per hour. But if I'm in a new situation and no one's talking to me, then I'm not going up and talking to anybody. So I can still believe that he's introverted, especially when he mentioned the band that he was in, and there's four people on the stage, so people watching him live wasn't that bad. But him being an individual acting, then that can be a little nerve wracking. So I'm gonna believe him that he's saying that he's introverted because I feel like it kind of relates to me and it kind of relates to some other people that I know that are introverted, but they are very good at content creation. So I'm gonna stick with that he's introverted, but maybe it might not be true. Okay, I'm sad for him. Can't wait to hear Amber though. I think her I think her witnesses and her testimony is going to shake everything up because everything sounds good when all you're hearing is good things about the plaintiff. But when you start getting the bad things about the defendant or the defendant coming forward and giving you all the bad things about the defendant, then I think that's going to be a little bit hard to push through because Johnny Depp would have already gave his side of the story. You can't go back and say, well, I'm also nice by doing this. So I think it's tough that the plaintiff goes first and that this is such a long trial. All right. Legal Bites and her guests have been great. Yes, they are wonderful. Everyone that pops over there, I'm so happy to see Alita growing. I think she's doing a great job covering the trial. I know she's had some travel and she has been bouncing back every morning and covering the full day of the trial. So if you guys have not checked out at Legal Bites, just Legal Bites, check her channel out. She does recaps and she also live streams the entire trial. So if you are interested in catching up on this case, make sure to check out her channel. There are some other law tubers streaming it. Emily D. Baker is streaming it as well. And so is Rakeda Law. But I have been popping onto Legal Bites. So make sure you check her out and then check out the other two as well. I don't think anybody else on LawTube is streaming it. If anyone else on LawTube is streaming it and I forgot to mention them, make sure you comment down below so I can also give them a shout out. All right. Deacon Fedo says, have there been any doctors that deal with psychology in this trial yet? Yes. I missed the doctor's testimony, but the nurse testified yesterday. And a lot of the things that she said was that she does not recall, but they did point out her notes and read out her notes, letting us know that Johnny Depp felt like he didn't know what to do because he was having so many problems with Amber. The nurse also mentioned that she did witness Amber blocking Johnny Depp from leaving his home on some occasions, from leaving through the elevator on some occasions. So yes, there has been doctor and medical testimony. I missed the doctor's testimony, so I can't tell you exactly what he said, but for the nurse, there were a lot of notes of her saying that Amber Heard basically harassed Johnny and tried to force him to talk to her. She didn't give specifics, but that's what I got from her testimony. All right, so we have Jen who is still coming in with the chats. Thank you for your participation. Definitely love it. All right, I agree. And introverts, I think, can be on when they have to be, yet may require more personal downtime to regain their energy. I can agree with that. I think that's a very accurate statement. But again, I'm only basing this off of me and other people that I've seen. I don't not like a behavior specialist or anything like that. But from what I have witnessed, I do definitely agree with that. Brie has been on the panel. Yes, I have. So I'm gonna try to pop in tomorrow. I have my own hearing tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to pop in the morning on Legal Bites tomorrow. Does the plaintiff always have to go first? It might have been prudent to let the defendant go first in the case. Yeah, so the defendant, I'm not the defendant, the plaintiff does have to go first because they're the one bringing the case. So they have to establish what's called the prima facie evidence that they actually have a case. So they're going to go first. Their witnesses are going to go first, and then the defendant will go because they are defending themselves. So yes, the plaintiff does have to go first, which makes it hard, especially in a long trial like this, because sometimes you forget what they said. You really forget. But if you have strong enough testimony, it's good because it's sticking with you throughout the whole trial. I don't think that I have seen anything that would really stick with me throughout the whole trial yet, other than Johnny Depp's behavior. Even when he's watching the other witnesses, he's very calm. He's not making any faces or anything like that. He might smile sometimes, but he's mostly keeping his head down, as opposed to Amber Heard, who's looking up and she has like a mean mug on her face. I don't know if she's trying to look serious, but the way that she looks and the way that she's like passing her note to her attorney is like she comes off as very annoyed. So I feel like that will stick throughout the trial. But as far as testimony, I'm not sure if I really heard anything that will really, really stick with me throughout the trial. Maybe the friend. I don't know. And I forget what the friend's name was, but he was very likable. Emily was good today too. Yes, I hopped into Emily for a little short while, and so yeah, she streamed majority of the day today, right? Not the full day, but she streamed the trial for quite a while today. And it was also a good stream, good commentary as well. Emily, the lawyer, has been covering this trial. Yes, she goes by Emily D. Baker on YouTube. So yes, I pop into all those streams. Unless you guys are talking about a different Emily, but Emily D. Baker is the lawyer. Okay, so there was a marriage counselor, right? Yes, I missed that testimony as well. So I've probably been every other day. So I missed the marriage counselor, so I'm not sure exactly what they said there. Nurse Kim was the most helpful. What's her name? Kim? Are you talking about the nurse that came on to Legal Bite stream? Her name is Nurse Liz. I don't remember what the actual nurse that testified name was, so you could potentially be talking about her. I'm not sure. Okay, that's going to be a thing later, I'm sure. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. You can agree with Jen. Again, not really sure what you're referring to. Best of luck on your hearing. Thank you. It's been a long hearing coming, so I hope that it goes well. Had to work on a brief during the weekend on Easter, so that was not fun. So I'm hoping that the case actually that we prevail in the case because it's been a lot of work. So thank you for wishing me luck on my hearing. All right, and then we have oh, I'm choking. Now to look at body language is us. Now to look at body language subject matter experts on this case. Yeah. Um there's one that actually pops up on Legal Bites as well. Excuse me. So if you're interested, for his name is Spidey. I think his name is Spidey. He has a YouTube channel as well. And I think he's talked a little bit about this trial on his channel, but I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But he has popped onto Legal Bites channel as well. So if you're interested in hearing some commentary about the body language, he was on there today and sometime last week as well. But again, I think you also said you don't want to watch the whole trial, so you might not want to pop over just to hear that. But he is on Legal Bites channel. Emily D. Baker, yes. Not sure. Do. Yeah, Nurse Liz. Yeah, Nurse Liz. She has a YouTube channel as well, and so she was giving us a little bit of information about how the nurse was protecting her license by saying she does not recall, but it was very, very annoying. So if you have not watched the nurse testimony, probably would not recommend if you get bored easily. It was very long and it was a deposition. So it felt like it was even longer because it was a deposition and she was not there live. So that's that. We have Honorable Tom saying there's also Law Talk with Mike giving commentary on the case and occasionally joining Legal Bites. Yes, I did pop on there with Law Talk with Mike for a little bit, and I haven't looked at his channel. So if Honorable Tom says he's covering it, then he's covering it. So check out Law Talk with Mike as well. So as you can see, there's a bunch of lawyers on the internet chatting away. So if you are interested in pretty much any, no, I wouldn't say any legal case, but if you're interested in legal topics, you can probably find several lawyers on LawTube that you really like. So I would encourage you to check out all of LawTube, and you can catch the different members of LawTube mostly on Legal Bites channel and on Rakeda Law channel. I think most of the people pretty much bounce around between those channels. So if you're looking for more legal commentary channels, make sure to check out those two channels to kind of see who's all in the law to realm. All right. And we have honestly think I'm way too broke for this case. I don't know what you mean by you're way too broke for the case. And then love LawTube. Yes, LawTube is great and they explain the law in a pretty digestible way. So I'm happy to be joining LawTube. I'm happy that a lot of you guys have came over from other channels on LawTube, and I hope that this channel can also be helpful. I mostly cover trademark cases and celebrity cases that are going on in the civil realm. You probably will not catch a criminal law case on my channel because I don't practice criminal. I don't like criminal. It makes my skin crawl. It makes my blood boil. So you probably will not catch any criminal stuff over here. But there are plenty of lawyers on LawTube that does cover the criminal stuff. You'll catch civil stuff over on my side, and you'll catch a lot of trademark stuff and copyright stuff. So if you're interested in the business law realm, then my channel is where you need to be. And we have, it's because I've been sharing your videos on trademark. Oh, great. I definitely appreciate you sharing my videos. Those are definitely my favorite cases. The celebrity cases are interesting, but I love the trademark cases in comparing the difference between the different logos or names that people are stealing from other people. So I don't really see any more questions coming in, and I probably have to get ready to go to the gym soon if I go. And I feel like now that I've spoken it onto YouTube, I need to go now, but I don't really want to. So I'm probably gonna pop off of here. And if you guys are interested in learning some more about the cases that I've been covering, make sure to leave in the comment section after this video is posted what lawsuit or what trademark lawsuit you would like to hear about. I will be live on Thursday. That's the plan. So you guys can catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays live streaming at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my cases. And then you'll catch me throughout the week while this Johnny Depp trial is going on, popping on to Legal Bites. Oh, sorry, phone call. Popping onto Legal Bites live stream, and I may try to pop over to Ricada Law. Never been over there yet, but I would like to be introduced to that side of LawTube. So yes, if you want to catch me throughout the week during this Johnny Depp trial, other channels for my content Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. So thank you guys for watching live, and if you are watching on the replay and you come all the way to the end, thank you for watching on the replay. I will see you guys in the next live stream.